Hi everyone, so in this video we're going to do question 2 on page 9. I'm just going to do question 2 and that will allow us then, or it'll mean we're able to do question 1 and 3 from that also. Okay, so in these questions again it's very important to read the question. So the map shows ground contours at 10 meters. ABC are outcrop points on the footwall. Alright, so it's very important that you know which is on the footwall or the head wall, and that is basically the stratum that goes through the mountain. There will be a top and bottom of that, and there will be a thickness in between. So you would have saw thickness in yesterday's question, but basically the head wall is the top and the footwall is the bottom, and then the layer of coal or whatever the stratum is in between. D is an outcrop point on the head wall. So as I said, A, B and C are on the footwall and D is 1 point on the head wall. Okay. The strike OB is given. So we're given the strike. We're asked to determine the dip. And from yesterday, the dip is basically the angle that the stratum is at. And we're asked to find the thickness of the ore. So the thickness between the head wall and the footwall. Okay. We're asked to draw the outcrop for the head wall and footwall. So the outcrop is, they're basically the outcrop points. But you imagine if we were to look through the mountain, where would that layer come out throughout the whole mountain? So it's basically going to look something like a curved freehand shape. Alright? So that's the plan for this question. So starting off, we're given our strike. From yesterday, if we weren't given our strike, we would have had to draw an elevation up here and draw a level line, drop it down, and that would have given us our strike. But in the question, they've given it to us. So what we do, that is a true length line. So if we look along a true length, we will see the plane as an edge view. So basically, extend the line out, draw a line perpendicular, so that is basically your x1, y1. Then we have to just take note of the scale again. So it's 1:1000, which means for every 10, because the intervals are 10, for every 10 millimeters on the map, it will equal 10,000 millimeters, which is the same as 10 meters. Okay, so for that reason, our distance here is 10. Okay, and we only need to go off what our outcrop points are. So our outcrop points is 80. B is at 90, A is at 110, and D is at 100. So it's basically going from 80 to 110. So you can step up measurement of 10. So that's, say, 80, 90, 100, 110. So you can start at the bottom if you like. I'm just going to start up 10. Doesn't really matter, you'll still get the same answer. Extend the line parallel to your x1, y1, or perpendicular to your strike. Extend those a little bit further. Okay, now I'm going to label these. So first line here is 80, 90, 100 and 110. Now we're going to find the edge view. So ABC is the footwall. So we're going to find the footwall of this ore. by just extending these lines up, so parallel to a strike. So B is at 90, so where that is, let's mark it with a pen so you can see. B is at 90, so that's B. C is at 80. That's C. A is following it around, is at 110. So 110 is there. That should, when we join the dots, it should result in a straight line. And it does. I'm going to draw it in pen so we can see it clearly. Alright, so that is an edge view of this footwall. So I'm going to write footwall here. Okay. Now, the next thing we need to do then is we need to find the head wall. Alright, so common sense will tell you that the footwall will be at the bottom and the head wall will be above that. Alright, so how do we find it? We know D is on the head wall, so D is at a height of 100. So if we project up, until it hits 100, back to D, and again D is 100, so we bring it up, we find point D, and now the oar will be parallel. Head wall and foot wall are always parallel. Just draw a line. Doesn't matter where you stop, just extend the line out. And that is our head wall. Okay. So we have drawn the footwall, head wall, and we've found the outcrop points. So looking at the question then, we have to determine the dip. From yesterday, the dip is the angle the oar makes with the horizontal plane. So you can do two things. That is our x1, y1. Alright, if you want, you can extend this out until it hits the line down here. But sometimes what happens is, if that's a really low angle, it'll run off the page on you before you actually get to measure the angle. So it's the same thing to basically that line here and this line, it's still the same angle, isn't it? Okay, so if I'm going to highlight this line for a second. Alright, that there, little symbol, that is your dip. That's the angle it makes with the horizontal plane. Alright, so we've answered that part, the dip. Next then is the thickness of the oar. So you would have had this in question 3 yesterday. So the thickness of the oar is found by just drawing a perpendicular line anywhere. Right, that there is right T. That is the thickness. That is the thickness of the oar. So we found that. Now we're asked to draw the outcrop for the head wall and the foot wall. So we're going to focus on the head wall first, which is the top. So what do we do, right? So it goes as far as head wall is there. 1 second. It goes as far as the head wall is there, so it can be crossing 110. So what we do is any place, let's get a different colour, any place it crosses a contour basically. Alright, so you can, that'll be a point where it crosses 110. Now just the head wall first. We already have D. 90 is there. And I'm going to extend it on as well. Extend it on until it hits 80. Alright, and now anywhere you have a point, a blue point, you're going to project that back parallel to your strike. So, for instance, 110 is here. We need to project that back to hit the 110 contour. Project the line back, and then where does it hit the 110? So it hits it there, and 110 followed around is there. Next then is D, so we have 90. Alright, but where else does it hit? Sorry, D was at 100, it was. D was at 100, so where else does it hit? Follow it around, and it hits there as well. So there, 2 more points. Staying with the head wall, 90, bring that back. Where does it hit 90? There, there. And then it won't even hit 80, there's probably no point in doing that. So 80 is off the drawing, okay. So, we have points. We know that there, and there are our outcrop points of our head wall. So what do? We just join those freehand. So do it lightly first. So because that's the 90 contour, it'll follow around the 90 contour. Cuts back in then. Comes across. And you can just finish it off with a kind of a natural curve. So then you're going to go and heavy it in. It's pencil, freehand. So that is the outcrop. So it's basically where all that surface, all that area of coal, wherever it is, touches the actual surface of the mountain on the head wall, which is the top. Now we've got to do the very same thing, but we have to do it for our footwall. So again, we have A, so A is on us already at 110. Where it crosses 90, let's mark points first. So we have there, A, we have 90, so that's 100 there. Then we have B, and we have C. Okay, so where else? So C is at 80. Where else is a cut? Cuts it there. So C, that's 2 points. right? Because remember, in the question we were told A, B and C are outcrop points. So those points have to be on the outcrop of the footwall. 90, 90, bring it down, is 90 is there, sorry. So B is at 90 and follow it over. So your 90 contour is over here, so you have to extend that on. So follow it down, your 90 contour is there, and it's also at B. Then we have the 100 contour, which is there. So project that down. We have two new points for this. So that's the 100 contour. Bring it down until it meets the 100 coming around. So that is there. And the 100 is also over here. And then the 110, finally, we bring that down. The 110 will have come around, follow it around, and the 110 will also be there as well. And there, A is already on it. So all these pink dots now are on the outcrop of our footwall. Okay, so I'll heavy this in a second. Join the dots. Lightly first. Now it comes, even though it's getting close, it comes across around to B. It's going to come close here, but just don't let it touch. Back in. And then that's our outcrop. So I'm just going to go heavy that in so it'll make sense to you. I'm going to heavy this in and colour it in so it might help you understand a little bit more. Alright, so that's the outcrop of the first one we did. This is the outcrop of the second. Alright, so if we were to look down now, I said we were in a plane flying over this mountain or hill. Basically, any part in between, any part in between this is basically where the material or the outcrop comes to the surface. So we had a layer of coal. That blue is where it would come to the surface. Okay, and then if our hill was green, alright, so our mountain's green or whatever it is, we would still, all this part here would still be the mountain, or the different material, whatever that is, and also then all this is below it. So you can colour this in just to make yourself visualise it a little bit better. Alright, so again, the outcrop is the blue, which is the area of the ore that comes to the surface. have we answered everything in the question we were asked? Because every question that we get will be different, so it's important that you read the question and you understand what you're being actually asked to do. So we were asked to determine the dip, we did that here. We were asked to determine the thickness, we did that here. We were asked to draw the outcrop for the head wall, which we had it there, and we have the outcrop for the foot wall, which we have it there. So we've answered that full question there. That will allow you, okay, so question 1, you're asked to do the strike, dip and the outcrop. Alright, so question 1 is kind of the same. You need to draw an elevation for question 1 because you don't have the strike. And you're asked then in question 3, you're asked to determine the strike of the stratum and determine the outcrop. Okay, so that video then, I'm going to stop it there, will allow you to complete all of page 9.